Hello, this is Julia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we are building this big, gorgeous family home that I made, and I built this in Hanford on Bagley, and I think I built this on a 40 by 50 lot. I'm not exactly sure right now, but I think it was. So yeah, I think that this build turned out very nice. I really like it. It looks quite luxurious and I just love everything about this home. I think that it turned out very nice and it's just perfect for cottage living, and I just thought that this would be a perfect home for kind of like a little bit like a fancier kind of family, so they would have like a lot of money and their lifestyle is a little bit fancier than maybe what others here in Hanford on Bagley would have. So that was kind of like the idea for this home. So this home has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and there is also like some extra rooms. So there is a laundry and also an office and a painting room, and then there is like this like greenhouse, but it's like attached to the building. So yeah, it's like this little sunroom, and then I put like a lot of plants in there, and I think that it turned out very nice and I just love how it looks. And I was very proud of the roofing that I did for this home. I think that it turned out so nice and I was so happy about how it turned out, and I'm just really glad that I decided to do the roofing in the way that I made it. So that is very nice. And by the way, this is a very long video because this took me a lot of time to make. So I'm probably not gonna do like a full voiceover, but I'm gonna hang around and talk to you like for a while, but then I'm gonna like stop a little bit early because I don't think I can talk for that long. I'm really sorry about that, but it's just really hard to like talk for 30 minutes straight. So yeah, I might have to like quit a little bit early, but I hope that it is okay. So what I wanted to say about the exterior of this build is that I think that it turned out like very like expensive looking, and it also looks kind of old, and I just love the overall look that it has. And I think that I might play in this home. Like I have so many like good ideas about the family that could like live here, and I think it would be a lot of fun to make a family here and just, you know, play with them. And yeah, I'm kind of like excited about that. But first I'm gonna, play a little bit more with the sim that I'm currently playing with, because I'm like kind of in the middle of the gameplay with that sim. So I'm gonna finish that off first and then I'm gonna start a new family. So I have really been like playing a lot of the gameplay for the cottage living expansion because it really like inspired me to do some gameplay, and it has been so much fun to test out everything. And I still need to get my sim family and then a bigger home, and I'm like super excited about that. And then I also get to like have more animals for that sim, so that is very exciting and I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, I have really been enjoying the gameplay now, and that makes me just so happy because usually I'm just building and building and I never have any time for gameplay. And even if I would have enough time to do some gameplay, very often I just don't feel inspired enough to do so. So I just end up building because that is my favorite thing about The Sims. So it's just easier for me to build and then just not do any gameplay, but I am very happy that I have gotten to do some gameplay now because I have been so inspired and I've had some spare time because I have been able to like make builds and videos like quite fast, so I have had some extra time in my hands and that is very nice and it makes me super happy. So about this build, I also wanted to say that I put some like opportunities for the Sims to have animals in here. So I put like one animal shed and then 2 chicken coops, and then I also put like a little bit like planting areas so they can plant some crops or whatever they want to plant there. And I thought that it was a very nice addition for this home. And I was actually kind of thinking that the Sims that would live here could probably like have a butler or something. I don't know, I just thought that it would be like a very nice idea. And because this is kind of like a very fancy home, so I thought that it would suit the house, and yeah, that was my idea for this home. And I'm very happy that I ended up adding that like little pond right next to the house. I think that it looks very cute and I just love it. One thing that I was supposed to say as well is that I put a few beehives in here and I thought that it was a very nice addition as well. So about the landscaping of this home, I went with very similar landscaping that I have done like all the time when I have been building here on Henford on Bakeley, and I think that it really suits this world and I just love to do the landscaping that way in this world. So what I wanted to say about this house, I was like very inspired by English manners for this home, so I was like searching from Pinterest like pictures of English manners, and that's like where I got the idea to make this build. And I don't know if this actually looks like anything like those, but that was where I got my inspiration for this build. And yeah, I just wanted to like mention that in here because I think that it was a big part of making this build. And yeah, I was like very happy about being like super inspired by those pictures. So one thing that I wanted to talk about in here is that I have been asked like many times that do I do any base game builds or limited pack builds, and currently I only have one base game build and then I have one limited pack build. So in that build there is only base game and cottage living, but I have already made another base game build and it is coming out like a little bit after this video, so if you're interested in that then stay tuned and you will see that video. And I am very excited about that video because I find doing base game builds like very hard and I really don't think that it is an easy job to make base game builds. So I was very like proud of myself for doing that and I'm so happy that I'm gonna get to share that build with you guys. And I am so happy that the people that haven't been able to use my builds because there is so many packs, so that they can now use at least that build, and it just makes me so happy. And I want everyone to be able to use my builds, so I'm gonna try to make some base game builds in the future as well, so that everyone would have an opportunity to use my builds, because it makes me so happy when people use my builds and you know people are getting something from them and they're not just for nothing. And yeah, that sort of stuff, it just makes me super happy. And I love that people enjoy my builds and my videos and all that. It makes me like super happy. And yeah. But anyway, about the floor plan of this home, I actually ended up like wasting a little bit of space on the second floor of this home because I couldn't like figure out a good way to make it work. So there is like some space that is not being used, but I'm a little bit annoyed by that, but I guess that it is okay because the shape of this house was a little bit weird, so I kind of had to waste a little bit of space because, you know, the shape is not even like that weird, but because of the like roofing, there is some weird things about the house, so yeah, that's why I couldn't do it exactly how I wanted to, but I guess it's okay and I'm just gonna let that be. So about the kitchen that I made for this home, I think that it turned out very nice, and there is like a casual eating space in the kitchen, and then there is like a formal dining room like separated from the kitchen, and I really like that. I think that it was a very nice idea for this home, and I just really love this home and everything about it. So my color scheme for this house was like very light and neutral tones, maybe some blue and like very neutral colors, and nothing like too bright or stuff like that. I didn't want to do that for this build, and I am very happy about how it turned out. I really like it, and I really hope that you guys will like this as well. Here you can see me making the kitchen for this home, and I really love that this kitchen turned out like kind of cozy, but then again it still looks like very fancy, I guess, and it doesn't have like that cheap kind of look, or at least to me. I don't know what you guys think, but that's just how I think of this kitchen, and I am very happy with how it turned out. And about the floor plan of this home, I think that all the rooms turned out like just the right size, so they're a little bit bigger than I'm used to making. So I usually make like very tiny homes or small homes with just 2 bedrooms or something, so the rooms in those homes are also quite small. So the rooms in this home are a little bit bigger than that, but they're still not too big, so they still have that kind of like cozy feeling to them, I guess, and I really love that. I always want the houses that I make to have that sort of like cozy feeling to them, and I feel like it really adds to my builds when they're like super cozy, and I am always going for that sort of look. So about the furniture that I ended up using for this home, I wanted to say that I mostly used, of course, the new cottage living expansion, but I also used other packs as well. I think that I especially used like get together and stuff like that to like fill out some things that we don't have in the cottage living expansion, but I still tried to keep the main focus on the new expansion, of course, because, you know, I'm doing these builds with that pack, so of course I want to use that pack as much as I can, but we didn't get like everything in that pack, so we need to like use other packs stuff as well, and especially because I don't really like base game stuff, so yeah, I used get together, and then I don't really remember like that well what other packs I used, but I think I used quite many packs like in the end, but the main focus is still on the cottage living expansion, and that's exactly how I wanted it to be. So all the furniture that I used looks kind of cottagey, but I still tried to add some like more fancy kind of look to it with some certain items, and I think I managed to do that quite well, and I am very happy with the result. And all the furniture that I used is like kind of old looking but still very fancy, and that was like the look that I wanted this home to have, and I am very satisfied with it. So here you can see me making the living room for this house, and I think that the living room turned out so nice and I'm so happy about that. Like, I really love this living room and I'm so happy about how it turned out, and I really hope that you guys will like it as well. And about the like extra rooms that I made for this home, I think that all of those turned out very nice, and I'm always happy when there is like a little bit of extra space to put some extra rooms that you don't like necessarily need in the game, but it's still nice to have them, and it adds a lot to your gameplay, that you can have all these different activities that you can do with your sims and stuff like that, and I really enjoy that. But what I wanted to say about the entryway of this build is that I'm not fully satisfied with it, because I think that it looks a little bit wonky, but I guess it's okay. I tried my best and it was kind of hard to make it work. I just feel a little bit weird about the staircase like in the middle of it, but you know, I'm just gonna let that be and just try to think about other things, because you know, what's done is done, and that's just how it's gonna be. So about the dining room that I made for this home, it is quite small, so there is just the table and basically nothing more, and I think that it looks very nice and I really like it. It really has a little bit fancier feeling to it than like the casual kind of like breakfast area or whatever you want to call it that is like in the kitchen. And here you can see me making like the greenhouse or the sunroom, whatever you want to call it. It's basically like a sunroom but with a huge amount of plants, I guess. I don't really know, but I really like how it turned out, and I feel like this would be a perfect place for someone to just sit and drink some tea or whatever and just admire all the plants that are in that room. And I really like that idea, and I really hope that you guys will like it as well. And about the like bedrooms that I made for this home, I wanted to say that I was quite happy with them, but there was like some little things that I wished that I would had like better ideas for them, but I guess that they're just fine, and I'm just gonna have to let that be and just be happy with how they turned out. So I don't really know what else to talk about in this voiceover, so I'm going to wrap up this now. Like I said, I need to wrap up this a little bit earlier than this video ends, but I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and also remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye bye!